The Colts had a disappointing season last year. Talks of playoff success turned into tanking weeks before the season was over. But this team is not as far from winning as you might think. If this team scored just 10 more points per game, they would have gone 12-5, which is very possible as last year the Colts converted only 45% of their red zone attempts. If the Colts can just finish off more drives with a touchdown, then they will win games. This draft is crucial in the Colts' present and future success. So, who should they select with the 4th overall pick? Obviously, it should be a quarterback. Last year, a big reason the Colts couldn't win was because their quarterback play was inconsistent at best. But there are multiple quarterbacks they could choose. If CJ Stroud or Bryce Young were to fall to them at number 4, should the Colts pick them? Yes. Bryce and CJ currently look like more of a sure-handed pick than the rest. The draft will always be a gamble, but the least risky gamble will always be guys who don't have many glaring red flags. CJ Stroud is amazing statistically and has great highlight plays with all the physical capabilities. But he can make poor decisions when under pressure. And Bryce Young has similar physical capabilities, better mental capabilities, but has size concerns. The more likely of the two to fall to Indy is Bryce Young, who they should take if he falls to them. But the more likely scenario is a choice between Will Levis, Anthony Richardson, and Hendon Hooker. I'm just going to say flat out that I don't like Will Levis. He's a good arm and has good athleticism, but has bad football IQ and makes horrible decisions leading to turnovers. He might have some high upside, but it's way too much of a risk to take when you have a Anthony Richardson on the table. So let's talk about Anthony Richardson. He is my favorite prospect for the Colts. He has amazing arm strength paired with great scrambling abilities. He is the best dual threat quarterback in the draft. His problems are throwing mechanics and accuracy, things that can be fixed by coaching. It's risky, but I would be willing to gamble on Richardson. Could he be a bust? Yes, absolutely. But he could also be an Andrew Luck type player for the Colts, and they wouldn't ruin a guy like that for the second time around. Finally, the least likely quarterback pick, Hendon Hooker. It's a long shot, but Hendon Hooker's stock has risen recently, so he's worth talking about. He has size and some athleticism along with decent mechanics and good accuracy, but his major red flags are his age and injury history along with how well would he fit into an NFL type offense. If the Colts got him, I wouldn't be mad, but I would be confused if guys like Anthony Richardson were still available. So now that we have gone through the most likely quarterback scenarios in this year's draft, who should the Colts take? I feel like it's very obvious I want Anthony Richardson. He's athletic, can make smart plays, and has a rocket of an arm that will translate to any level of football, with his only concerns being things that coaches can fix. His biggest red flag in mechanics. It's hard to fix, but it is fixable if needed, and there's no guarantee that it will need fixing. His mobility can be utilized in multiple ways. Richardson will have a solid O-line, but will still need to scramble from time to time, and we could use him in the way that the Eagles use Jalen Hurts to help us convert in the red zone more. And with Richardson's amazing arm strength, shots down the field to Michael Pittman Jr. or one of our huge tight ends will hopefully be more successful than last year. Running RPOs would be a possibility for the Colts with Richardson under center and Jonathan Taylor behind him. Basically, having Anthony Richardson opens up a lot more possibilities for our offense, whereas Will Levis or Hendon Hooker don't offer that. And if they did, it would be on a much lower level. But Richardson could not adjust to reading an NFL defense, and never fix his mechanics, like I said earlier. It's a risk, but so are the rest of these prospects. The Colts are honestly not as horrible as their record shows. Despite losing multiple players this offseason, all 7 Pro Bowlers from 2021 are still on the roster. The defense last year was honestly not that bad. It was mainly the offense that could never get anything done. It is entirely possible guys like Ryan Kelly return to form. If the Colts have a good draft, they won't be that bad. They have had a solid offseason with the addition of Matt Gay, Isaiah McKenzie, Gardner Minshew, and Samson Ibuka. Obviously, they lost some key pieces this offseason, but they can fill those spots and have before. I'm not saying they're contenders, but if all goes well, they could be gunning for a playoff spot. But that mostly hinges on this one draft pick, and that's a lot of weight to put on a 22-year-old. Most likely the Colts won't be good next year, even if whoever we pick does well. But it's a possibility some magic happens. And the guy who gives us the best chance at that is Anthony Richardson. I'm Limitless Polls. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe for more, and have a good day.
Same fucking bitches, got the chopsticks with extensions on my dick, cause I like